This is Plant-Based Briefing, How Instagram Influencers Spread Nutrition Misinformation by Nino Najad at faunalytics.org. And I'm Marian Erickson. This is the Plant-Based Podcast where I curate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living and narrate them to you here in about 10 minutes or less every weekday with permission. And I'm pleased to have permission from Faunalytics to share their content. Today's article is a summary of a study published August 6, 2025. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. How Instagram Influencers Spread Nutrition Misinformation. Summary by Nino Najad at faunalytics.org. A few dozen high-profile Instagram accounts are misleading millions with anti-plant, pro-carnivore nutrition claims. Poor nutrition is a leading preventable cause of non-communicable diseases, yet online spaces are flooded with advice that contradicts public health guidelines. Social media, particularly Instagram, has become a powerful force shaping people's food choices. While nutrition guidance from reputable institutions emphasizes dietary variety, moderation, and a plant-forward approach, influencers often push restrictive or extreme diets that run counter to this consensus. This report investigates the scale and nature of nutrition misinformation on Instagram. It analyzes both the content itself and the people behind it, asking who's spreading it, what tactics do they use, and how can advocates counter their influence. Researchers analyzed over 1 million Instagram posts using data from Meta's content library and Bright Data. They focused on 52 hashtags frequently used in misleading posts, such as carnivore diet, seed oils, and toxic foods, and manually verified the most viral content. To identify misinformation, the study relied on a nutritional baseline built from global dietary guidelines, including those from the World Health Organization, Eat Lancet Commission, and National Dietetic Associations. From this analysis, 53 super spreader accounts were identified based on their extremely high engagement rates, ranging from around 10 to 82%. These influencers collectively reached 24.8 million followers and were categorized into persona types based on tone, tactics, and apparent motivation. Common misinformation themes. The most prominent misinformation narratives promoted carnivore and meat-based diets, 29% of cases, general health and nutrition misinformation, 24.5% of cases, and low-carb and ketogenic diets, 24% of cases. Over 90% of the super spreaders promoted multiple overlapping themes, such as carnivore diets alongside seed oil conspiracies or ancestral eating trends. These narratives frequently demonize plant-based foods and elevate animal products, especially red meat, liver, and animal fats, as superior. Common influencer types and tactics. The study identified 3 key influencer archetypes. 1. The docs present themselves as medical authorities, often using the doctor title even when their credentials are irrelevant or misleading. They tend to use fear-based messaging and have the highest average follower count, around 745,000. 2. The rebels frame themselves as anti-establishment figures, positioning meat-heavy diets as resistance to modern corruption. Their messages are often anti-science and conspiratorial, and the group includes farmstead influencers who advocate for holistic living. And 3, the hustlers rely on highly polished wellness marketing, using personal transformation stories to promote restrictive diets. A common tactic in this group is sprinkling, where misinformation is woven into broader lifestyle content such as gym routines or smoothie recipes. These narratives are emotionally charged and carefully crafted. Fear-mongering was common, especially among the docs, tapping into distrust of institutions and promoting alarmist messages like, "Everything is poisoning you." Others leaned into joy-mongering, using motivational transformation stories that framed animal-based diets as healing and empowering. Sprinkling, meanwhile, allowed misinformation to appear more subtle and credible. Although Instagram typically skews toward positive content, the study found that high-performing posts often relied heavily on fear, outrage, or defiance. The most liked post in the dataset, with 3.7 million likes, was a pro-carnivore, anti-plant message from a fear-mongering account. Most super spreaders weren't qualified to offer health or nutrition advice. Just 13% were verified medical doctors, and only 1 specialized in nutrition-related conditions. Nearly 60% had no formal qualifications in health or nutrition at all, yet many used the doctor title based on alternative or unrelated degrees. This strategic presentation of expertise helped them build trust and influence with audiences despite lacking relevant training. Misinformation is big money. The vast majority, 96% of influencers, had clear financial incentives tied to their content. Many sold branded supplements, health programs, or merchandise. Others earned income through affiliate marketing, coaching packages, or sponsored posts. Some influencers reportedly earned over $100,000 per month. These financial motives were often obscured, blending commercial intent with supposedly objective health advice. Challenges and implications. The study faced some limitations. Meta's data restrictions meant that only accounts with verification badges of 25,000 or more followers could be included, potentially excluding emerging influencers. Reliance on hashtags may also have missed posts from creators who don't use them, and the analysis is platform-specific. Nonetheless, the report's implications are clear. Misinformation isn't just a problem of factual inaccuracy. It's emotionally compelling, identity-driven, and often packaged in narratives of empowerment. Influencers who lack qualifications can build enormous trust through relatability, storytelling, and aesthetics. They portray plant-based diets as weak, unnatural, or dangerous, and animal-heavy diets as traditional, rebellious, or superior. For animal advocates, these findings pose a direct challenge. Anti-plant messaging isn't incidental. It's central to the appeal of many of these influencers. By framing meat as healthy, empowering, and morally right, they erode trust in plant-based nutrition and reinforce cultural narratives that associate meat with strength and truth. Combating nutrition misinformation will require more than scientific rebuttals. It calls for emotionally intelligent advocacy, media literacy education, and stronger support for credible nutrition communicators. Public health voices must learn to compete not only on facts, but on trust, clarity, and storytelling. For animal advocates in particular, this report should serve as a wake-up call. As carnivore content gains cultural traction, it's not enough to promote plant-based eating as sustainable or ethical. We must also defend it against a coordinated wave of emotionally persuasive misinformation. You just listened to How Instagram Influencers Spread Nutrition Misinformation. Summary by Nino Najad at faunalytics.org. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. I've done previous episodes on the carnivore diet, on nutrition misinformation in general. I'll link some of those in the show notes. But it's shocking to hear how much money is on the table for these people. $100,000 a month? Wow. That's tough to combat. There's not a lot of money in marketing broccoli, as Dr. Greger, one of the whole food plant-based doctors, likes to say. But this also goes to show how important media literacy education is. It's severely lacking. And as always, I put a link to the original post in the show notes, and from there you can link to the original study and all of the details there too. So please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.